Good day. This is Jim Stockstill bringing you a teaching from our program entitled The Handwriting on the Wall. And what I want to do is establish the fact that Rome is not the last empire on this earth. The Antichrist or the beast is more proper term, does not come out of Rome. Rome came out of Italy and only conquered a little bit further than Jerusalem to the east. The last empire will come out of the Grecian Empire, will be the Grecian Empire, will come out of Greece, will come out of the evolution of the Grecian Empire. Greece, Alexander the Great, conquered all the way from Greece, all the way to India, to the east, all the way. He conquered the Middle East. Rome never got that far. They got just barely across the Euphrates for a little bit. But Rome is not. Chapter 8 of Daniel definitely says that Greece is the last empire, the evolution of the Grecian Empire. So Daniel's by this river Uli, and he has this vision, and he sees a ram with two horns, and one horn is larger than the other, and it's doing everything it wants to do. It's full of power and strength, and it's ruling. It's the Medes and the Persian. It's the Persian Empire. And nothing can stand in its way. But yet then he sees a he-goat with this notable horn coming from the west. And it spies the goat, and it runs into the ram with all its power and all its might, and it smashes the ram down to its knees, and then it crushes the ram. And it has no mercy. It obliterates the Medes and Persian Empire. This is the Grecian Empire. This is Alexander the Great. There's a great horn between his head. This is Alexander the Great. He rules, he conquers, he goes all the way to India. Now, I'm going to bring you a map in the preceding messages, and I'm going to show you how far Greece conquered and how little Rome conquered. And the seven mountains of Rome are not the seven hills of Rome that they try to teach. The seven mountains mean seven kingdoms. There were seven kingdoms. And there are seven kings. Five have fallen. One is now, and one is to come, according to John. And the seventh one will be the eighth. Will be one of the seven, and will be the eighth. That's a mystery. I'll show you later. But anyhow, listen. So I'm going to read this to you right here. A man tells Gabriel, said, Gabriel, make Daniel understand this. So the main one thing great about the book of Daniel is that Gabriel interprets the preordained will of God to Daniel a number of times through it. We've had an angel, Gabriel, is preaching in Daniel. Daniel is one of the most, probably the greatest prophetic books in the Bible, because it tells the whole history of everything. Okay, so the he-goat waxed great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable horns. And out of one of them, it's summarized here, and out of one of them notable horns comes forth a little horn. The little horn is what we call the Antichrist, which more technically is the beast. Out of them comes up a little horn. waxes great toward the south, toward the east, and towards the pleasant land, which is Israel. And it waxed great, and it even goes to the host of heaven. Now, you know, Jesus is the head of the host of heaven, the army of God. It even goes up in warfare with the angels, and it casts some of the angels down to the ground. And this is the very end of time. This book was said it's sealed up to the very end, Daniel. So it's sealed up to the very end. So this, for the very latter days, it's nobody could understand Daniel until, I don't know, the last 100 years, a little bit. Now a lot is coming up. It casts down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground. These are the angels. This beast will be Satan's son and will be empowered and by Satan, and he will have tremendous power for 3.5 years. He'll even cast down some of the angels to the ground. Pretty amazing. And he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. So he gets up in Christ's face and magnifies himself. And by the daily sacrifice he takes it away, and a host was given him against the daily sacrifice. And he said, and it came to pass, when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of Uli, which said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. When you see an angel, you're going to fall upon your face, because they're magnificent beings, And he was speaking with me, and anyhow, and then he goes ahead. He says, the ram which you saw, two horns, are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough he-goat is the king of Greece, and the great horn that between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, wherefore four stood up, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of that nation. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressions are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, because it's Satan's power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper, or deceit. And by peace he shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So, here's what happened. Alexander the Great died. He didn't leave anything to his children. His kingdom was divided by his 4 generals. One went to the north, one went to the south, one went to the east, one went to the west. The west is towards Greece, and the east is towards India. The north is towards Turkey. The south is towards Egypt. Then it talks about a lot of talk about the wars between the king of the north and the king of the south. And history is very beautifully described as the northern kingdom fights against the southern kingdom, mainly Turkey and Egypt. They war against each other. How the king of Egypt gives his daughter to the king of the north as trying to reconcile things and as a unify their political joining, and how she is killed and her whole family is killed. It gives the history of it in detail. So if you want to read the history, go to Josephus and read about the history of this time. Anyhow, so one of the princes in Egypt under the general, he conquers. He takes over. Not one of the generals, but he supersedes the general and takes over, and becomes Ptolemy's kingdom. So there's warfare, but in the very end, the last one that comes to rule is the little horn, and the little horn is the beast, or as we say wrongly, the Antichrist, because in Revelation he's never spoken to as Antichrist. He's spoken to as the beast. So a little horn comes up and he subdues 3 horns. Now horns are kings. So and he magnifies himself, just like 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. It says that he magnifies himself against God. He thinks he's the only God. He's above God. So this is what happened in the latter days. It comes from the Grecian kingdom. It's not Rome. It's not the 7 hills of Rome. It's out of the evolution of the Grecian Empire, the very last. Probably Turkey is going to be, or the ultimate empire actually became very great for like 1,400 years. It is not even written down in our Christian heritage. So Turkey is probably going to be ahead of the revised Ottoman Empire. That'll probably be the beast kingdom. And the beast, it says where the beast comes from. It says the beast comes out of the abyss to kill the 2 witnesses in the last days. So it says the beast is in charge of the abyss. So anyhow, I'm going to do a few of these. I do better. I had a television program, and for about a year, it was a local station, and it did very well. I had charts and everything, and taught it really good. I had a video man that helped me videotape it and edit it for me. We edited it a little bit, not much, and the program did well until I started telling about the truths of Obama, and then I was taken off the air. But anyhow, it's very clear. You go into chapter 11, it talks about the little horn. It talks about the little horn subduing 3 kings. That there's 10 kings. That this beast that comes out of the 4 winds of heaven, this last great empire, a composite beast with a mouth like a lion, feet like a bear, body like a leopard, or that's Greece. See, the bear is Medo-Persia, the lion is Babylon. It's a composite beast, and it comes out of the last empire, and it's got 10 heads, or 10 kingdoms, and it's got let me see, it's got 7 heads and 10 horns, and the horns represent kings. And these kings are given power in the very last days for 1 hour, so they can give their power to the Antichrist. But the little horn subdues 3 of them, so there's only going to be 8 left. So the Antichrist, the little horn makes 11, and then he subdues 3, and that makes 8 kings for the last of this dispensation. So, I hope you understood a little bit of this, and I'm going to keep trying until I get it. I'm not going to put this on YouTube. I'm just going to put this on my Facebook and see what and take your. There's a lot of great men right now, much greater than I am, anointed, rocking the world. Jonathan Cahn is one of them. I mean, he's an unbelievable prophet of God, but he's not a prophet of the very end. And he says it's Rome. And there's a lot of them that say it says it's Rome. But Rome, the Bible says it's Greece. Like I said, Rome came out of Italy. Greece came out of Greece. So it's not Rome. It's in the latter time of their reign, latter time of the Grecian reign, after hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, a king of fierce countenance shall stand up, and he shall be powerful, but not by his own power. And he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall go against the God of gods. He shall go against the Lord of hosts, which is Jesus Christ. He shall go against the army of heaven. He shall trample down. He shall throw down some of the stars to the ground. And he's going to have rule over the saints. But this is only for 3.5 years. Until that time, we're in charge. It don't look like we're in charge, but we are in charge. So we have the authority, but we have to rise up and take the authority. So until next time, this is Jim Stockstill saying, I want you to keep looking for the handwriting on the wall. Thank you.